Hey folks, today we have an install that we're doing on the InvisQi wireless long distance charger. Essentially this is designed to be a invisible wireless charger. It's a way to actually put wireless charging into your desk or end table or something. This allows wireless charging capability through a physical material, so you can just set your phone on the table and it'll start charging depending on where you place it. Now, of course, there are limitations. You know, you can't go too thick. They claim 30 millimeters, 18 to 30 millimeters thick, so that's about 1.1 inches is about as maximum thick device or table you can do. But yeah, let's do this. Hey folks, welcome back to GeekSmart, and we're doing the install on the InvisQi charger. And like I said, we're going to try, to be honest, the thickness of the table is definitely important, but I want to try different materials as well. So I'm not going to install it on the first couple things. I'm just going to set it underneath while it's plugged in to see what kind of charge sequence we get out of this stuff. Because depending on that, right, depending on how it handles various materials, you may want to actually change I guess where you're placing it. Now most people are probably going to place it on wood, but I'm really wondering if it's going to do anything on quartz, like this table right here in front of me. But in the end, I'm actually going to install it over behind you, actually, where my computer sits. I'm going to put it in there and get rid of the little desktop charger that I have that my wife uses a lot because she works from home right now with COVID. But that said, let's open up the box, let's get all the stuff out, let's talk about it, let's get it installed. Okay, so here we go, the InvisQi. Let's open up the box, facing towards you. So right away we have the actual charger itself. So this is the puck. Essentially there is power port right there on the side. Power cord I believe is in this box. And then this is the actual platform that you actually stick up, that you actually mount this to. Essentially, right, for like that, or maybe it's like that. There we go. But then we essentially have this to hold it in place, and then you could always slide this out. All right, let's pull this guy out first. This should just be the charger, right? There we go. So the charging supply actually is 24 volts at 1 amp. That's what's actually powering this thing. So there's that. Let's set this box off to the side. I don't think there's anything else in there. Nope. Underneath, let's see, we have a sticker that looks like this is what you place on the table. If you so desire, you don't have to, but you put this on there so you know exactly where the best charging location is. And I think they give us, there we go. So these are the stickers that we can actually stick this guy on with, right, like that. If you don't want to use the sticker, you can mount this. There are 4 mounting holes as well, so if you don't want to use the adhesive mount, you can actually mount it with screws. They do give you screws for the mounting, which are the goldish ones. You can see that, and then there are 2 black ones. Those black ones actually are what actually hold this guy in here. There are 2 mounting holes, or 2 screw holes right there. That the black screws that come in this little bag basically attach this as make this as one. So I'm going to do that here in a second. Then, like I said, this after you figure out where. Obviously, if you're putting this underneath down here, you're not going to know exactly where to put this for the best location. That is why I believe they give you this. This guy right here, literally all it is Qi coils in a cross formation. So there's actually 5 different coils attached to LED lights to make sure that you actually are getting a signal through the material, so it's not too thick, or maybe the substrate isn't just right. I don't know how well this quartz is going to do, like I said. But then you can actually move this around to find where you want to put this sticker, right? And that's essentially what you're doing with this, is trying to find the best location to charge, and also whether or not you can charge through wherever the thickness or whatever you're doing through. So what I'm going to do quick is I'm going to get a screwdriver and I'm going to mount this guy to that so that it's one piece, and then we're going to, well, I'm just going to hold it underneath this desk because I'm really interested to see whether or not it can actually go through this material right here And then I'm going to grab a tape measure, and we're going to measure how thick the material right here is. I think it's about 1 inch, but I have never actually measured this desk. So let me grab that stuff real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the plate mounted with the 2 screws, the 2 black screws here. The power cord, you can see power adapter actually plugs through the back side right here. There is a hole for it. Now, I did measure this table. So the distance that they recommend this to go through is 18 to 30 millimeters. If that equates, actually maximum distance is 1.18, which is actually technically just under 1 3/16 of an inch. This table right here is 1 3/16 of an inch. So it's right around that 30 to 31 millimeters thick. We're going to try it anyway, because I want to know. And whether or not it's, I mean, obviously I'm not mounting on this material, but this is the maximum, I think, dense capability that you're probably going to find. And the length of the cable here looks like it's about, looks like about 4 feet or so. Yep, it's a 4 foot cable. So the power cord is 4 feet long. In case that you're wondering on that, so if you need to extend it, you may need to do that. It does have just a standard power brick. It is what it is. Let me grab a power cord. Okay, so plug the power cord into this extension cord, then it's going to go underneath the table for us. And then I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to plug the power cord into this guy here. So it should actually be producing, and I'm going to hold it underneath the table. So essentially right about here is where I'm at. And I'm going to see. Oh, look at that. It's charging. Maybe I can get you a little closer and see that. So if you can see that the lights are actually blinking, and we can actually try to pinpoint the best location. Right about there is about the dead center. So that's where you would want to put the sticker, essentially, is right like that. Because if you're off a little bit this way, you're going to get that light going. If I go this way a little bit too much, then that light's going to start going. And there's times where you can see both lights going. But if that's the case, that's... Oh, get my phone out of my pocket. I'm going to try it by putting my phone there. Maybe not quite. Maybe it's just quite too thick to really to get the phone to actually take. Let me try something here. So I thought I'd try it without the cover on it, without my phone's plastic cable. Even though I have MagSafe built into the case, I'm not getting anything. So this material here is just too thick, I think, for this to work. I was pretty sure it was not going to work anyway, but as you can see, we are getting a wireless signal through it. It's just obviously not enough to get the phone to charge. I bet wood's a lot better. Okay, so this is actually a Hahn desk, about 1 1/8 inches thick, so we're still pretty close to that 30 millimeters. So we're still pretty thick, but this is not quartz, this is wood, right, or pressed wood. I'm going to go ahead and get the wireless guy going, get powered up, and I'm going to set him underneath here. And we're going to get the lights going. Figure out where that special place is. Right there. So if we actually set the phone on top. And again, I'm not getting anything. I'm just too thick, I think, for it to actually work. So obviously it wasn't because of the quartz, it was just because of how thick the material was that we were going through. In this case, I was really hoping that it would be able to go on this desk, because that's kind of where I wanted to go. But mounted from the surface, it just doesn't have enough juice to pick up, at least on my iPhone. Now this is the 12 Pro Max, just to verify to make sure we are working here. Oh yeah, there she goes, charging. So it does work. It's just, we're just too far away from it on this desk. So again, I'm going to have to find another location. Show proof of concept, this is actually technically a shelf I'm just setting here, but this is 3/4 of an inch thick. Also same pressed board material. I'm going to do this exact same thing again. Plug that guy in and go underneath this guy. So I'm not nearly as thick anymore. You know, you can see it's brighter. It's a lot brighter. So now if I put my phone over 3/4 of an inch, now it's charging. So, you know, 3/4 at 1 inch, I think we're good. Just that 1.1 over here, just too thick. So it's going to be about finding a place to put it that is, you know, around 3/4 to 1 inch tops. Okay, so we're going to give it a try out here. This is a table in my dining room. We actually play like cards and stuff like that on this. Put puzzles together, and I do have the charger plugged in. Stick it underneath the table. This wood is 3/4 of an inch, so we've already done 3/4 of an inch. I did find a table that had 1 inch. It worked, but it wasn't every single, like, easy. That wasn't as easy every time. So, there's our center port. Looks like maybe a little further that way. So, right about there. Boom. Away she charges. Just to verify. We're off again, okay. If I'm in the right spot. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, 3/4 of an inch, no problem. 1 inch, it kind of cuts in and out. Of course, now it could vary the substrate. That had some glass and stuff in it. But 3/4 of an inch, no problem at all. Let's get underneath. Let's mount this guy real quick, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we are under the table. I have my bracket here, which I've already attached. Like I said, we did before, we attached this to the mounting plate. And what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to actually mount it like so. So basically I can actually undo the screws back here and slide this out if I ever need to. And the bracket itself will actually be mounted up here. I could mount it back here, I guess. So maybe I will. It'll be a little bit closer to the quarter, but not too close to the quarter. So I'm going to do it with the screws in this case rather than do the adhesive, because this is a wooden table. Pretty simple. These are only like 3/16 of an inch thick screws. And they've got a nice sharp point on them. So now we are mounted nice and firm. I can then take the power cord itself. I'm not going to route the. I'm going to probably actually route the power cord a little bit down this leg here, so it's actually zip tied to the leg. But I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. We are plugged in, good to go. And so, like I said, I'm going to probably dress this down this leg so you don't see it. And then just it goes to the wall. So let's check it out up top. Alright, so we should be fully running. This should be it right in this area right here. So bring this guy over. What I'm going to do now is, I'm not going to adhere this right now, but I'm going to set it there just so we can see if it makes any difference with the pad there or not. But now we can set the phone down. And away she charges. So yeah, it's fully functional. As you can see, you can't even tell that I'm charging my phone. Now this pad I'm not going to actually use personally, but it is there if you so desire. It is fully functional, ready for you to use. Otherwise, I'm going to use this scratch basically because that's where it's at. Right on that scratch. Look at that, perfect. But yeah, you can either have it so if you know where it is, you can just find it, or you can actually use their adhesive pad, which just has a backing material that you take off. Let's actually see it. It's actually kind of a translucent, so it wouldn't be as obnoxious as the white backing that it came with, right? But whether or not you want this on wherever you're going to place it or not, that is an option. You could also cut this where you just had the, whatever options for you. But we are fully up and running, good to go, fully charging the phone, and nice and hidden. So there you have it, the full install of the InvisQi. Now I will say this. They claim 18 to 30 millimeters in thickness. From my experiences, now my experiences are with an iPhone 12 Pro Max. I did use my daughter's 11 Pro as well just to test it at the end. But I wasn't getting 30 millimeters. I can't get my phone to see it at 30 millimeters. about 25, 26 millimeters, or which is about an inch, is about as thick as a material that I can go to get my iPhone to charge. So if you're less than that, any less than that is better. The smaller, the better. About 3/4 of an inch. That's about the sweet spot. You can go less, obviously, it needs even better yet, but at the thickness, after 3/4 of an inch, from what I found and I've tested, I would, even off camera, I tested a whole bunch of spots before I just chose to do it on my table that was 3/4 of an inch. And I was trying to go as thick as possible. And the 1-inch one, it would work, and then it wouldn't find it, and then it would work. So that's my personal thing. And of course, I'm not using an Android phone, I'm using an iPhone, and that might change things a little bit. And of course, I am using a MagSafe case, so that does add a little bit of thickness to it. Although on the 1 1/8, an 1 1/4, 1 3/16 stuff, I took the case off. I even took it off on the 1-inch stuff, and it did help a little, I think. But at 3/4 of an inch, case or not, she's working fine. So that said, right now they have an introductory offer. You can get this on their website for $100 or $99. I'm going to put a link to at the top of the description where you can head directly to their website and take a peek at it. See what they claim. See more information about it. And if you want, you can purchase directly off of the company. So, depending on how thick your surface is, before you order this, I would measure the thickness of your surface. I know there's some surfaces that are hard to tell the exact thickness of. Estimate it. And if you think that it's too thick, I think you're going to be a little disappointed. If it's not too thick, then I think it's fantastic. Now, I chose not to put the sticker on, the little QR code sticker guy. That's just because in where it is, I just don't want to stick a big sticker there. Thankfully, without the backing on it, is more translucent, but it does show it. I would like for them to offer a second sticker that's substantially smaller than this to just give the center spot. I know you can cut this, like I said before, but that said, not a big deal. Now, I also did the hard mounting, and it does have the adhesive mounting as well. That's an option if you don't have something that you can screw into, or if you don't want to. You do have the 3M sticky tape there as well. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking to the end. If you have any questions, please comment below. Subscribe to the channel, share the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any additional questions for me, you can head over to techgooch.com and you can get a hold of me directly. Now, I will have a full review of this and full write-up after I have some time behind it. So that video, the link will show up below once I actually have it live over on my TechGooch channel. That's where my reviews are. And I will put that up. So until then, thank you for watching GeekSmart. Thank you, and make sure you stick by and watch more here on the channel. And I'll be back, of course, with another future video setup install. So we'll see you soon.